Salut mes amis, bienvenue à Genie Space. We're going to be talking about my 5-6 months journey, how it's going, what I have been using to fast track my learning journey. And generally, this video is for documentation. At some point, I'm going to be speaking one flashy French like that. Let's get into the video. Bienvenue. So I need to put this out there. I'm making this video for the fun of it. I just want to record my journey. But if maybe it helps somebody along the way, good for you. But I am still very much learning this French as a million other people in the world out there. But I might look back at this video one day when I finally start to rap the French, and it might make me super proud of myself. Maybe I might just give up on this French thing, and when I watch this video I'll be like, shame on you. I have been on this French journey using my Duolingo to keep streaks, and the level of French Duolingo says I'm on versus where I think I actually am. Right, this is for you. If you're only using Duolingo to learn French, you're going to make little to no progress. I still use Duolingo. Find other resources, find other places where you're going to learn this language faster and more effectively. So I'm going to share what I have been doing around my whole learning journey. There's so much to say. Like every other typical Nigerian out there, French is integrated into our primary, secondary, high school, and university. I studied it in university, I studied it in primary school and secondary school because it's mandatory. I hear that it's like our second language or so after English, official language, right? So it has been integrated into school. So at some point, everybody knows bonjour, everybody knows bonsoir, everybody knows comment allez-vous? Oui. Learning to speak the language and learning to pass exam are very, very different. Very different. Because now, every single thing I have to say in French, like currently at this stage I'm in, I have to think it through. It's mental stress. Like, it's not like the way I speak English. It just flows, you know. I don't need to think about every single word before I say it. But unfortunately, I'm currently doing that when I'm speaking French. I have to think about all the words, adding to the fact that I have very limited vocabulary. I'm still learning a lot of verbs, so there's some things right now I can't even say. Like, even if I want to say it, I have no idea how I will say it. So I give myself 1 year of learning this French, and the goal is actually not to be fluent because I'm the one teaching myself. I'm the one getting all the resources. I have no tutor and all that. So it's just me against the world. And the goal is just to be understood, right? That's my goal at this point. At this point where I'm making this video, is to be understood by the people that actually speak the language. So I want to merge words together and just hope that the person or listening end understands what I'm saying. That is my goal. It takes a lot of time to get that fluent, especially when you are not trying to get the pronunciation with them as well. Like, you're trying to speak like the native French. It's a lot of work, and any typical Nigerian that speaks the way the French do, like they have the accent and all. What? I have mad respect for you. Like this girl, she's really good. Like, she's really good in the accent and all that.
I moved to Paris for love, but now I'm just dead in the city. Because tell me why, it's been over.
Anyways, my learning journey, I integrate a lot of things. So I started with Duolingo, then I integrated into podcasts. I listen to these podcasts every week, sometimes 2 times, 2 episodes per week, sometimes once, depends on how the week was treating me, but at least once. I also practice with AI. I started with ChatGPT, but it was not really giving what I wanted, so I switched over.
I'm Maintenant, j'ai besoin de toi à pratiquer le français avec moi. Maintenant, tu as besoin de moi pour pratiquer ton français avec moi. C'est bien ça? Et maintenant, tu vas te
So I use Gemini to, practice the speaking, because with Duolingo, if you think that thing you're doing on Duolingo is actually speaking the language, you are playing. When I was using more of Duolingo, I realized that my reading was on a higher level than my listening and my speaking. And that's ridiculous, because the purpose of learning the language is not to speak it, it's not to read it. I'm not learning the language so I can read it. The purpose of learning the language is to speak it. So why is your reading, like, you can identify words, but then when it now comes to pronouncing it, is pronunciation is just ridiculous. Your pronunciation is terrible. So if you're on that boat, jump out. And this podcast that I listen to, they also like show you how to pronounce the words. So those little things, they make a difference in making you actually sound like you're speaking the language. And along the line, I saw videos where people recommended movies. Yes. So I switched to movies. I've watched like a lot of amazing French movies. Like, at first I was skeptical because I saw this TikTok video where someone was like saying that French movies are really not interesting and all that. So I was very skeptical. But the first one I watched, I decided to go for comedy, right? Like, with comedy, you can't really go wrong. It was a banger. I have to tell you guys that my favorite French actor is Kev Adams. I have watched a lot of that guy's movies. Like, I've learned a lot. Like, forget the fact I'm watching the movie to learn the language, but he has also like made me love the French culture even more. Kev Adams. I like that guy. So Duolingo, podcast, movies. Get movies that are related to something you're interested in. Like me, I'm very big on the career side, so I like to watch a lot of career related movies. I also like comedy. I'm also a series person. I've also been watching family business, and I also added cartoons. For cartoons, I will recommend Lu. I also recommend, if you are looking for cartoons as well, also teach you like day-to-day casual French that you don't see in a textbook. The next option I started was textbooks. Guys, believe it or not, you have to study. Like, you have to know your conjugations, you need to know the verbs, you need to know how to structure sentences. And it's not something you get off a movie or a podcast or even Duolingo. You have to study. So as a typical Nigerian who has studied in Nigeria all her life, most of us have this book, right? I went for primary 5 because whether you want to accept it or not, you're learning this language from scratch. And funny enough, I didn't have to buy this. Like I said, Nigeria, we study French, so you can go back and look for some of your primary, secondary school, university textbooks. You don't need to enter the market and start buying a brand new book. This is from JSS1. You see, we are going higher. I got these ones from university, but they are really good. This is Petit Français Simple, like simple French, and this one as well. Comment le français? This one too is from my university, so I decided to integrate it. I've been looking for a French dictionary, but I wasn't able to see that, so to buy it one day. I found Neko, not ask question paper, French. Yes, I am that dedicated. Guys, you have to be intentional about learning this language. Like, very intentional. It's not a part-time job. If I was in a French-speaking country, it might have been so much easier for me to comprehend. Je comprends. It would have been so much easier for me to comprehend. But since I'm in an English-speaking language country, oh my god. I'm an English-speaking country. Everybody here typically speaks English, aside from like our native language. It's so much harder, and I have to put in the extra work to learn the language. This is when I started. You see here, this is July. I've been documenting every single step of the way. I try, emphasis on try. I try to watch 2 full French movies. This is the podcast. I try to listen to 3 every week. Then I have Duolingo. I try to finish a section, like a whole section. If you use Duolingo, you might understand. So I try to finish a section every week. It's not easy. And then this is the journaling part. I try to journal 20 words. And then I write my progress. That was the week for me. Did I do anything? Like here now, I said I did not watch French movies, unfortunately. So that is this thing. But aside that, it was a very busy week and all that. So I write all the details about how the week went for me in my learning. You can see this. This is the full page of me learning. All the new words that I learned. I journal everything down. One thing that people don't know about learning the language is that you are a baby, right? You're like kindergarten level. Yes, I'm talking about learning how to count. Like forget the part where you're learning the language so that you can ask your boss to give you a raise, or you want to discuss, business in a global scale. Forget all that parts. First of all, you need to learn how to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You need to know how to count. At least 1 to 10. You need to know how to introduce yourself. Je m'appelle, you are far. Like, do you know how to say where you are from? Do you know how to introduce your parents, your friend? You are learning from scratch. I was watching this video and they were talking about how you need to learn how to spell your name. Asking you, okay, quel est ton nom? And you say, oh, my name is this. And they're like, okay, can you spell it? And now they don't know how to spell your name in French. Literally, you don't know how to say it, spell your name. Like if I'm spelling my name in English, it's so much easier. But how are you going to spell your name in French? You just be looking at the officer and the officer will be looking at you. And at some point, they just look at you and they're like, please get out from the way you're blocking the line. These are the little things. Please don't hold up the line because you can't spell your name in French or in the language they are speaking. Don't hold up the line. As part of my French learning journey, I decided to get a course. Not a tutor, no. The ICLR program is very good. And I feel like it was more helpful to me because I had learned French to a certain level. So it's kind of like helping me refresh and all that. I like the podcasts very well. And also, this program is free. Oh my God. So you show that you are dedicated to learning the language, like you actually show up because there's nobody going to be bossing you around to take the lessons. If you're busy or if you are not very serious about learning the language, skip. So that program too is part of my learning journey. I hope you learned something from this. Disclaimer, I made this video so that I will use it and push myself in the future. If you watch to this point, you have a special place in my heart. Saranye, je t'aime. Saranye, je t'aime. Thank you so much for watching to this point. I really do appreciate you a whole lot. And I hope that you laughed with me so that I will not think that my sense of humor is dying. But I know you laughed with me at some point. I hold him up. Anyways, remember guys, if you're trying to bootstrap your learning journey, remember, whatever learning app it is that you're using, please don't focus only on it. Expand. The more you expand where you get your resources from, the faster it will be for you to pick up words and you will know where to use them. I even added music. I listen to music. My favorite is Indiala and some other awesome musicians. Let's turn that back, right? Duolingo, podcast / music, movies, series. Then you can add textbook reading because you need to learn grammar. And then speaking with AI. Like that's if you don't have like any native French speaker around you. If I had a native speaker around me that will like be interested in speaking the language with me, I won't be using AI. So thank you so much for watching, and have a great, amazing day ahead, and all the best to you on your learning journey. Au revoir et à bientôt.